Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. European Council President Antonio Costa arrives in New Delhi to join European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen as the chief guests for Republic Day. Prime Minister Modi lauds the contribution of startups in his monthly radio broadcast. India celebrates Voters' Day. President Murmu gives electors photo identity cards to newly enrolled voters. And thousands of flights cancelled as a massive winter storm hits the US, leaves many without electricity. In the 130th episode of his monthly radio broadcast on Sunday, Prime Minister Modi spoke about the power of collective action in building a better nation. He said that public participation is India's greatest asset. The Prime Minister spoke about modern trends such as bhajan clubbing. Now, bhajan clubbing is a growing trend among Gen Z that transforms traditional devotional songs into high-energy nightclub-like experiences. He also highlighted how Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, a campaign that he launched to plant a sapling in honor of one's mother, combines tradition and environment.
Whenever the name of India is mentioned, the spirit and collective strength of its people automatically comes to the mind. Finding solutions to problems seems to be an inherent part of Indian character. In the 130th edition of Mann Ki Baat episode, Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized the power of small efforts in bringing a big change. Prime Minister also described public participation as India's greatest strength.
कुछ लोग समाज की सामूहिक शक्ति से रास्ता निकालने का प्रयास करते हैं। ऐसा ही एक प्रयास उत्तर प्रदेश के आजमगढ़ में सामने आया है। यहाँ से होकर गुजरने वाली तमसा नदी को लोगों ने नया जीवन दिया। आजमगढ़ हो, अनंतपुर हो या फिर देश की कोई और जगह, ये देखकर खुशी होती है कि लोग एकजुट होकर कर्तव्य भाव से बड़े संकल्प सिद्ध कर रहे हैं। जन भागीदारी और सामूहिकता की यही भावना हमारे देश की सबसे बड़ी ताकत है।
In his Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister spoke about a form of devotion that is centuries old but is now connecting with the younger generation in a new way. He said that bhajans and kirtans, once limited to the temples and religious discourses, are now becoming part of Gen Z lifestyle. From this has emerged a new cultural trend called bhajan clubbing.
देश के अलग-अलग शहरों में बड़ी संख्या में युवा इकट्ठा हो रहे हैं। मंच सजा होता है, रोशनी होती है, संगीत होता है, पूरा तामझाम होता है और माहौल किसी कॉन्सर्ट से जरा भी कम नहीं होता है। ऐसा ही लग रहा है कि जैसे कोई बहुत बड़ा कॉन्सर्ट हो रहा है। लेकिन वहां जो गाया जा रहा होता है वो पूरी तन्मयता के साथ, पूरी लगन के साथ, पूरे लय के साथ, भजन की गूंज। इस चलन को आज भजन क्लबिंग कहा जा रहा है और यह खास तौर पर जैन जी के बीच तेजी से लोकप्रिय हो रहा है।
The Prime Minister also presented the image of an India that remains connected to its culture, traditions and identity even beyond its borders. Praising the Indian diaspora, he said that Indian festivals and culture are being celebrated with pride and enthusiasm across the world, spreading the fragrance of India far beyond the national boundaries.
आज हमारी संस्कृति और त्योहार दुनिया भर में अपनी पहचान बना रहे हैं। दुनिया के हर कोने में भारत के त्योहार बड़े उत्साह और उल्लास के साथ मनाए जाते हैं। हर तरह की कल्चरल वाइब्रेंसी को बनाए रखने में हमारे भारतवंशी भाई बहनों का अहम योगदान है। वो जहां भी हैं वहां अपनी संस्कृति की मूल भावना को संरक्षित कर और उसे आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं।
Cleanliness and environmental protection are no longer just government schemes, they've become a commitment of the youth. Prime Minister praised such efforts that are making India cleaner and greener. He highlighted that crores of people have joined the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam campaign.
पर्यावरण संरक्षण की यही भावना आज बड़े स्तर पर भी दिखाई दे रही है। इसी सोच के साथ देश भर में एक पेड़ मां के नाम अभियान चलाया जा रहा है। इस अभियान से आज करोड़ों लोग जुड़ चुके हैं। अब तक देश में 200 करोड़ से ज्यादा पेड़ लगाए भी जा चुके हैं। ये बताता है कि पर्यावरण संरक्षण को लेकर अब लोग ज्यादा जागरूक हैं और किसी न किसी रूप में अपना योगदान देना चाहते हैं।
Whether giving new life to a river, bringing water back to drought-hit regions, giving devotion a new expression, or planting a tree in a mother's name, the message of Mann Ki Baat is clear. Big change does not come from a single directive, but from millions of small commitments. And when every citizen embraces duty as their dharma, that is what it builds a new India, clean India, cultured India, and self-reliant India. Bureau Report, DD India.
In the radio broadcast, the Prime Minister urged young people to lead a stronger, more empowered India. From lauding the power of voting to emerging as the world's third largest startup ecosystem, the Prime Minister's message was loud and clear. India's future is being written by its young citizens.
Addressing the first Mann Ki Baat program of 2026, Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended advanced Republic Day greetings to the nation and spoke about the significance of this day. The Prime Minister stated that the special occasion of January 26 provides an opportunity for citizens to bow in respect to the makers of our Constitution. He also underscored the significance of January 25th, National Voters' Day, describing it as a crucial day for the country. Proclaiming the voter as the very soul of democracy, he described the milestone of turning 18 not merely as a legal age, but as a significant life achievement. Prime Minister Modi described the entire electoral process as a fundamental pillar in the journey of democracy.
26 जनवरी का ये दिन हमें अपने संविधान निर्माताओं को नमन करने का अवसर देता है। आज 25 जनवरी का दिन भी बहुत अहम है। आज नेशनल वोटर्स डे है, मतदाता दिवस है। मतदाता ही लोकतंत्र की आत्मा होता है। साथियों, आमतौर पर जब कोई 18 साल का हो जाता है, मतदाता बन जाता है, तो उसे जीवन का एक सामान्य पड़ाव समझा जाता है। लेकिन दरअसल ये अवसर किसी भी भारतीय के जीवन का बहुत बड़ा माइलस्टोन होता है। इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है कि हम देश में वोटर बनने का, मतदाता बनने का उत्सव मनाएं। जैसे हम जन्मदिन पर शुभकामनाएं देते हैं और उसे सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, ठीक वैसे ही जब भी कोई युवा पहली बार मतदाता बने तो पूरा मोहल्ला, गांव या फिर शहर एकजुट होकर उसका अभिनंदन करें और मिठाइयां बांटी जाए। इससे लोगों में वोटिंग के प्रति जागरूकता बढ़ेगी। इसके साथ ही यह भावना और सशक्त होगी कि एक वोटर होना कितना मायने रखता है। साथियों, देश में जो भी लोग चुनावी प्रक्रिया से जुड़े रहते हैं, जो हमारे लोकतंत्र को जीवंत बनाए रखने के लिए जमीनी स्तर पर काम करते हैं, मैं उन सभी की बहुत सराहना करना चाहूंगा। आज मतदाता दिवस पर मैं अपने युवा साथियों से फिर आग्रह करूंगा कि वे 18 साल का होने पर वोटर के रूप में खुद को जरूर रजिस्टर करें। संविधान ने हर नागरिक से जिस कर्तव्य भावना के पालन की अपेक्षा रखी है, इससे वो अपेक्षा भी पूरी होगी और भारत का लोकतंत्र भी मजबूत होगा।
Prime Minister also spoke about the journey of Startup India, describing it as vital for the future of the nation's younger generation. Hailing the youth as true heroes of the journey, PM praised their courage and dedication. He noted that after 10 years of effort, India has become the world's third largest startup ecosystem, a feat that once seemed nearly impossible to imagine.
प्यारे देशवासियों, इन दिनों मैं सोशल मीडिया पर एक इंटरेस्टिंग ट्रेंड देख रहा हूं। लोग साल 2016 की अपनी यादों को फिर से ताजा कर रहे हैं। उसी भावना के साथ आज मैं भी आपके साथ अपनी एक मेमोरी को शेयर करना चाहता हूं। 10 साल पहले जनवरी 2016 में हमने एक एम्बिशियस जर्नी की शुरुआत की थी। तब हमें इस बात का एहसास था कि भले ही एक छोटा क्यों न हो, लेकिन ये युवा पीढ़ी के लिए, देश के फ्यूचर के लिए काफी अहम है। तब कुछ लोग ये समझ ही नहीं पाए थे कि आखिर है क्या। साथियों, मैं जिस जर्नी की बात कर रहा हूं वह है स्टार्टअप इंडिया की जर्नी। इस अद्भुत जर्नी के हीरो हमारे युवा साथी हैं। अपने कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकलकर उन्होंने जो इनोवेशन किए वो इतिहास में दर्ज हो रहे हैं।
Prime Minister Modi also highlighted the growing stature of India in the list of global economy. In respect of every sector, Prime Minister emphasized that this year everyone's single mantra should be quality, quality and only quality. Bureau Report, DD India.
The Indian government on Sunday announced the latest recipients of the Padma Awards, the country's highest civilian honours after the revered Bharat Ratna, the topmost civilian award. The winners are announced every year on the eve of Republic Day. Padma Vibhushan Award has been given to Dharmendra Singh Deol posthumously for art, K.T. Thomas for public affairs, V.S. Achyutanandan posthumous for public affairs. The Padma Bhushan Awards have been given to Alka Yagnik for art, Bhagat Singh Koshyari for public affairs, among others. For more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Deepika. Deepika, fill us in on the latest you're picking up on the list of awardees.
Good evening, Ganesh. Yes, as you said, that the Padma Awards have been announced on the eve of 77th Republic Day. We have the final list. First of all, for the benefit of our viewers, Padma Awards are really one of the highest civilian awards of the country, which are conferred in 3 categories, which are Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. So when we talk about the Padma Vibhushan, which is the highest award category, 5 awards have been announced by the government of India. This includes, first of all, first and foremost, Dharmendra Singh Deol, the late legendary actor who passed away in the year 1925 and having served the industry for decades. His role and his art has always been referred, and he's been a legendary actor. Apart from that, Padma Vibhushan will be conferred to K.T. Thomas as well in public affairs, and in fact, one more name is there, that is N. Ranjan in the Padma Vibhushan category. From the literature and education fields, we have P. Narayan, who will be conferred the Padma Vibhushan Award. He is from Kerala, and from public affairs sector from Kerala again, we have Achyutanandan. Now, if we talk about the second category, which is the most prestigious one, is the Padma Bhushan. 13 awardees have been announced in that category, and for the Padma Shri, 113 names have been announced. 113 names will be conferred this time at the Padma Awards. So when we talk about the categories, there are various categories which ranges from arts to public affairs to medicine, social work, food and industry, sports, science and engineering, and literature and education, and others include archaeology, and so these are the different fields in which people have to pick up, and actually always followed people's Padma. So people's Padma come from the people only, from the citizens only, who can contribute endlessly, relentlessly to the society, and they are conferred the award.
Right, Deepika, do stay on. We'll try to fix the audio with you in just a bit, but let me recap the news just coming in. The Indian government has announced the latest recipients of the Padma Awards, the country's highest civilian honors after the revered Bharat Ratna, the topmost civilian award. The winners, as you might know, are announced every year on the eve of Republic Day, and this year's awards, including the Padma Vibhushan, go to the late actor Dharmendra Singh Deol for art, posthumous, along with K.T. Thomas for public affairs, and the late Kerala Chief Minister V.S. Achyutanand as well for public affairs. Padma Bhushan awards have gone to many, including singer Alka Yagnik and politician and former Chief Minister Bhagat Singh Koshyari for public affairs. We'll get you more on that in just a bit, but that's the news we are tracking here on DD India right now. Right, President Draupadi Murmu to address the nation on the eve of 77th Republic Day. That's coming up. Also coming up, Myanmar junta wraps election with ally set to seal victory.
The flypast at the Kartavya Path starts with the Dhwaj formation. The first would carry the Indian tricolor, to be followed by the flags of Army, Navy and Air Force. For the very first time, Indian Army is participating in the Republic Day parade. As you can see, this is the pride of Indian Army, the Apache helicopters. But what kind of preparations are there before they finally make it to the Kartavya Path? Watch our special program Rise of Bharat on 26 Jan 8:30 PM only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa are in India on a state visit. The two EU leaders were accorded the Guard of Honor at the Air Force Station Palam in New Delhi. The EU leaders will participate in the 77th Republic Day celebrations as the chief guests. During the visit, the two leaders will co-chair the 16th India-EU Summit on the 27th. The EU leaders will also call on President Draupadi Murmu and hold restricted and delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Modi. An India-EU Business Forum is expected to be organized on the sidelines of the India-EU Summit. President Draupadi Murmu addressed the 16th National Voters' Day celebrations in New Delhi. The President presented the Best Electoral Practices Awards in different categories, including effective use of technology, election management and logistics, innovative voter awareness, implementation and enforcement of Model Code of Conduct, and training and capacity building, along with other special awards and awards for media as well. The President highlighted the importance of voting, saying that the voter identity card gives citizens the valuable right to take part in the world's largest and most vibrant democracy.
ये पहचान पत्र आपको विश्व के सबसे बड़े और जीवंत लोकतंत्र में सक्रिय भागीदारी का अमूल्य अधिकार प्रदान करता है। मुझे विश्वास है कि देश के सभी युवा मतदाता बहुत जिम्मेदारी के साथ अपने मताधिकार का प्रयोग करेंगे तथा राष्ट्र के निर्माण में अपनी भागीदारी निभाएंगे। आज मैं महिला मतदाताओं को भी विशेष बधाई देती हूं। विभिन्न चुनाव में भारी संख्या में मतदान करके हमारी माताएं, बहनें, बेटियां हमारे गणतंत्र को और अधिक शक्तिशाली बना रहे हैं।
The ceremony was also addressed by Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh Kumar. The Chief Election Commissioner said that special intensive revision helps to ensure that no eligible voter is left out and no ineligible voter is included in the electoral roll.
विश्व के सभी लोकतंत्र मानते हैं कि शुद्ध मतदाता सूची सशक्त लोकतंत्र की आधारशिला है। संविधान और विधि के अनुरूप जो 18 वर्ष या उससे अधिक आयु का हो, जो किसी विधानसभा क्षेत्र में सामान्य रूप से निवास करता हो और जो भारत का नागरिक हो, वही उस विधानसभा की मतदाता सूची में पंजीकरण का पात्र है। इसी मूल उद्देश्य को पूर्ण करने के लिए निर्वाचन आयोग ने विशेष गहन पुनरीक्षण अर्थात स्पेशल इंटेंसिव रिवीजन अर्थात एसआईआर की शुरुआत की, ताकि यह सुनिश्चित किया जा सके कि कोई भी पात्र मतदाता छूटे नहीं और कोई भी अपात्र मतदाता सूची में शामिल न हो।
President Draupadi Murmu will shortly address the nation on the eve of the 77th Republic Day. The address will be broadcast from 7 p.m. on all the networks of Akashvani and all the channels of Doordarshan in Hindi, followed by its English version. The broadcast of the address in Hindi and English on Doordarshan will be followed by the broadcast in regional languages by the regional channels of Doordarshan. India will display its development journey, cultural diversity and military might, including newly raised units at the 77th Republic Day celebrations on Monday. President Draupadi Murmu will lead the celebrations from New Delhi's Kartavya Path. European Council President Antonio Costa and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen are the chief guests for Republic Day. This year's celebrations will be an amalgamation of 150 years of the national song Vande Mataram, India's unprecedented progress, robust military prowess and its rich cultural diversity. The Information and Broadcasting Secretary visited public broadcaster Doordarshan's control room at Kartavya Path. Doordarshan has made special arrangements for the live streaming of the Republic Day parade in 4K resolution on its OTT platform Waves. Vishal Badisto has more.
Information and Broadcasting Secretary Sanjay Jaju visited the Doordarshan control room set up at Kartavya Path to take stock of the preparations. He was accompanied by the Director General of Doordarshan. This time, DD is streaming the entire coverage in 4K resolution on its OTT platform Waves. More than 50 cameras are covering the Republic Day parade on 26th January.
Doordarshan and All India Radio have made elaborate arrangements for ensuring that people from across the country are able to watch the parade right from Kartavya Path. We have made elaborate arrangements, close to about 50 cameras, as well as the entire telecast is going to be 4K, which is going to be also put out on the Waves OTT.
2 well-equipped OB vans have been deployed at the Kartavya Path.
इस बार हम पूरी कवरेज राष्ट्रपति भवन से लेके और कर्तव्य पथ और वॉर मेमोरियल तीनों जगह हमारी 4K सेटअप लगा है और हम लेटेस्ट 4K कवरेज से पूरा कवर कर रहे हैं.
More than 50 cameras have been placed to cover every angle from Rashtrapati Bhavan to the Kartavya Path.
जो भी परेड सामने से आएगी उनके शॉट्स बनाना है, उनके लॉन्ग शॉट्स बनाना है, उनके जो भी एज पर रिक्वायर्ड जो पैनल से जो रिक्वायरमेंट आती है उस हिसाब से हम लोग यहाँ शॉट देते हैं. तो यहाँ बड़ा अहम रोल होता है.
कर्तव्य पथ का जो जाइजेंटिक जो व्यू है वो इस क्रेन से हम लोग दे रहे हैं. टोटल कंटिजेंट का पासिंग आउट परेड सब यहीं से जो लॉन्ग शॉट जो है मैग्निफिकेशन शॉट इससे मिलता है.
The weather gods have not been very kind this time, but a backup arrangement has been put in place to meet any eventuality.
ये पूरा स्ट्रेच जो है राष्ट्रपति भवन से लेके NWM तक करीब 3.5-4 किलोमीटर का स्ट्रेच होता है. ये पूरा इंटायर कवरेज करने के लिए भी हम लोग जनरली 3 सेटअप लगाते हैं और उन तीनों सेटअप को आपस में कनेक्ट करना होता है क्योंकि 40 से 50 कैमरे 50 प्लस कैमरे लगते हैं. तो उन सबको इंटीग्रेट करके हमें ये कवरेज देना होता है. और फिर ऊपर से जो आप लोग को पता है कि रिहर्सल के टाइम में कितनी बारिश हुई उसको भी हमने ध्यान में रखते हुए हमने कंटीजेंसी अरेंजमेंट किए कि जैसे हमारी कवरेज स्मूथ हो, कोई दिक्कत ना आए.
Doordarshan is the public broadcaster that telecasts the Republic Day event every year. Vishal Barristo's report for DD India.
In international updates, polling ended in Myanmar's month-long election on Sunday, with the dominant pro-military party on course for a landslide win, which critics fear will only prolong the army's grip on power. The election's third and last phase closed after voting took place in dozens of constituencies just a week shy of the 5th anniversary of the coup. Voting is not being held in rebel-held parts of the country. In the military-controlled areas, rights monitors say the run-up has been characterized by coercion and the crushing of dissent. The Southeast Asian nation has a long history of military rule, but the generals took a backseat for a decade of civilian-led reforms. Meanwhile, the junta chief dismissed foreign criticism of the war-torn country's general election as a final round of voting took place, with the military-backed party having secured a majority of seats in previous rounds. Heavy snow shrouded the White House early on Sunday morning local time as a powerful winter storm swept across much of the U.S. Calling the storm historic, President Donald Trump approved emergency disaster declarations in the states of South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, Maryland, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Indiana, and West Virginia. More than 4,000 flights were cancelled on Saturday ahead of the storm. Major U.S. airlines warned passengers to stay alert for abrupt flight changes and cancellations. Power outages have left more than 230,000 customers without electricity. More than 150 million U.S. nationals were under some form of weather emergency notices from the National Weather Service.
In airports, I fly a lot, so in airports, there's always delayed flights, or sometimes I don't get to fly today, I have to fly the next day, so I'm always prepared, especially when it's a weather condition. I've flown in Chicago when it's snowed on. I'm not going to drive to it because I live in the South, I don't drive in the snow. So, but I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared to stay another night or do what I have to do to make sure I get to my destination.
The U.S. National Weather Service warned of an unusually expansive and long-duration winter storm that will bring widespread and heavy ice accumulation in the southeast U.S. Local authorities have urged people to prioritize their safety and advised them to stay sheltered and warm. In sports news, India will face New Zealand in the third T20I at Guwahati today, aiming to seal the 5-match series after taking a 2-0 lead. The hosts dominated the first two matches, winning by 48 runs in Nagpur and chasing 209 with ease in Raipur, thanks to explosive knocks from Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav. With confidence high and batting depth on display, India looks set to continue their momentum ahead of the T20 World Cup. New Zealand, led by Mitchell Santner, will fight to stay alive in the series and avoid a clean sweep. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. You can get the latest news on the DD India mobile app on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.